Hello everyone, Bridget Casey with Bridget Casey Designs, here today for ScrapbookPal.com. Today we're working with the Birdie Brown MFT Beary Special Birthday stamps and dies. That is a mouthful. So I'm starting out by getting out my stamping tool. I'm showing you an old trick where you lay the dies down and then lay the stamps in them so that you can cut your stamped images all out with one pass. Now I do have to cut that present there that I'm laying the stamp over. I do cut that out of the middle because that will die cut out, obviously, when you run it through. So just an old trick that you lay your stamps out like this, and I'll show you how we cut them all in one pass perfectly, no worries, no stress. So we're starting out with some Copic coloring, and there are quite a few Copics today. So I started with E44, now I'm on to E43, we'll go to E42 and then E41. This card was one that kind of came into its own, I guess is how I'm going to phrase it. And I'm going back in and adding my darker tones. I'm just kind of going back in and darkening the color just till I like it. So I always start with my darkest tones and then I go darkest to lightest. And then I usually just go in and add my darkest in there. But sometimes I do the whole lineup again. So this card, so I started with this cute little bear. I had an idea of what I wanted to do. And it is how the front of the card looks, kind of. And then as I was looking, as I'm coloring these, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many cute images. I have to do another one. I can't just do one image. So that's kind of where it goes. And it's not where I really started. So I'd love to know, does that happen to you guys? Do you guys start a card with one idea and then as it progresses, you kind of make up your own idea and it looks similar to what you thought in the beginning, but kind of not exactly what you thought. But I'm happy. I'm super stoked and super happy with my card. The reason I mentioned it is because I did mention last month that usually when I do my colors, I like to do them all at once. So if I knew I was going to do both of the bears and both of the cakes, I would have done all of my bear coloring at once and all of my cake coloring at once each time I pulled out a marker. So it just makes it so that it's a more streamlined process. Of course, with the beauty of video editing, it seems reasonably seamless and pretty streamlined to you guys. But overall, I think this took me like an hour. But you know how it is. You are like, ooh, what color should I do? And then you go down the rabbit hole of pulling lots of different colors and yeah, so I decided to go with an old vanilla chocolate combo. And I decided to do my bears a little lighter than I normally do. So then I decided that they probably should have some party hats. And I mixed up my Copics. So I went from 97 to 95. And then I put a lot of color down because I got confused. And so my hats, So that's what I was showing you there. You can cut them all in one pass. You line them all up. They're all hooked together. So it just cuts out one thing. And I'm showing you here, all I do is my images that I did not use, I just put back in the die cut piece of cardstock. I put a little tape on the back and then I'm going to stick it into my stamp packet. So next time I go, I already have some images that are already stamped if I need to make a really quick card. So just a tip from the oldie but goodie days that we used to do. So my idea was to have a cute little blue square behind my bear. This is like the fourth ink I've tried. So again, the beauties of video editing. But tumbled glass, again, oldie but goodie from the old days. That's all we really had, and with that blue, everybody loved the blue. But I unfortunately got overzealous and tore the top of my paper. And then when all the tape came off, I'm like, oh goodness, so it's a little off center. So I decided I was going to trim it down. And the trimming didn't go well, so I just ended up trimming down the square. So I've put foam squares on the back. I've picked a sentiment. I've stamped my sentiment. And then my cute little bear is going to go in the side. And I love this sentiment. So much cake, so little room, that he's eaten a good portion of the cake. And then I get nail polish on the card. So this is why I don't wear nail polish. So this is why I'm saying it's lucky I cut the hats, because his party hat is tilted to one side because he ate too much cake. So we've all been there. We've all had those days where your party hat tilts a little because you had too much cake. So I figured it worked. So I've adhered my little square down center this time and centered over the sentiment. And then I put some foam squares on the back of my little bear. And I got another thicker foam square. And I have my tweezers this time, showing you. I got the tweezers. I'm not putting my nails near the card. And then I got my little tweezers. I got my little hat on there. And I put 2 pieces of foam tape on that. So then I thought, let's do an envelope. Why not? So I got an envelope and stamped a little bear with a balloon and put surprise, because it's a birthday card. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you will head on over and subscribe to the ScrapbookPal.com channel. Until next time, stay well.